Hello YouTube. I cannot be responsible for your project. This video is a guideline for people with a basic construction background. You should have previous experience with tile and/or carpentry. Before you get started, you need to assess what your situation is. Is what you're about to cut affect any load-bearing walls? Are there any plumbing, heating, gas pipes, etc. that must be or even can be moved first? An older house or second story may have very small joists that you shouldn't cut any part of. After you address those items, you need to do some shower pan math and find out the minimum amount to remove from your joist. Study this drawing until you are comfortable and familiar with your measurements. I recommend an adjustable shower drain, which will give you the most flexibility and let you cut the least amount out of your joists. First, you're going to have to cut your plywood floor all the way around the edge. So I've sistered 2x6s on each side of these engineered joists. I put glued and used 3-inch screws from one side to the other. In addition, I'm going to put 3-inch screws up through this bottom beam into the 2x6. When I'm done doing that, I will use this as a guide to cut the floor down. That way these beams are already carrying the load, they're already pre-stressed, and this is a nice smooth edge to run my sawzall against and also to nail plywood down. I also use the sawzall to cut along the edge of the shower. I will have to build blocking straight down and also for the floor, another joist for the floor to sit on, which I will do later. I will be cutting this drain. I will be building a bench in the back there. So when I have that dimension, I will be centering the drain and then drilling the hole in the plywood and then reconnecting the pipe. With tile, everything is layout. So it's a nice touch to have the drain exactly centered in the floor instead of off to one side or the other, and have the same size cuts around the wall and around the drain. I realize there's probably a better way to cut engineered joists. Somebody will have something to say, but it's my house and it'll work. I've done it probably 20 times before and never had a problem. I'm only cutting 2 joists, so I think it'll be fine. Your doubled 2x6s, or whatever you use, should extend past the cut point in your floor joist 3 to 4 feet. If you're not comfortable with this, or you have a unique situation, you might need a structural engineer, framer, or carpenter with experience in this situation. Also, if you have solid wood 2x12 joists, you may be able to cut as little as 2 inches down by adjusting your drain depth and not having to add reinforcements to the sides of the joist. Mine are engineered joists, and I like a solid traditional depth mortar bed that's strong, which is why I cut the amount that I did. Each project is going to be different, and you'll have to decide what you need for your specific project. I'm cutting the joist back here so that the 2x4 I'm putting in as blocking will be flush with the bottom 2x6 plate. That 2x6 will start at the furthest left joist and end at the furthest right joist to help support and tie in the full width of the pan. That 2x6 right there spans the two joists that I cut down, along with that joist right there, blocking in the 2x4 all around the edge for the plywood to sit on. There will be a bench right there going from the end of the vanity to the wall, and then a stub wall that comes up here to the height of the backsplash, comes out and stops here, which is next. It's pretty stout, pretty happy with it. You will also need anywhere from 2x6 to 2x10 blocking that sits on top of the base plate, as in the above photo. You can now drill a hole for your drain. Center it the best you can. Sometimes there are joists in the way, and you can't. Here's the pan drawing again to understand the height and the function of the cement and waterproofing that will be leading to the drain. Got the shower base ready. It's flat. I'm going to do what's called a pre-slope. I'm going to use my cement topping mix, which will start right here and come up at 1/4 inch per foot. This will be underneath the waterproofing. I'm going old school and using tar paper. Just makes me feel better because it's a high moisture area. It's not a waterproofing, it's just to soak up any condensation, moisture that should make its way through. So I've got the bottom of the shower just like that. Then later on we'll do the mud base. Make sure you have your backing up here. 2x4s here to bolt the shower wall or the shower door to. 2x4 here goes up to bolt glass to if necessary. And I'm not sure if I'll put a shampoo alcove, soap alcove in or not. You can buy sand topping mix or mix it yourself. At least 3 parts sand to 1 part pure Portland cement. Your mud mix should be damp, like you're building a sandcastle, not like typical wet, runny concrete, as running material is more difficult to control and makes waves. You're trying to make your surfaces as flat as possible. So I'm using a traditional cement sand mix called dry pack. As you can see, it's dry, about like you were making a sand castle. People's number one question is, will this harden? Yes, it will harden if you pack it. So I'm going to make what's called the pre-slope, which is underneath the waterproofing and everything else. I'm going to take it 1/4 inch per foot from the drain to the furthest point, furthest wall. This is how we do it. This is called a screed around the edge. Pack it really good. I'm just going to take this. Doesn't have to be, as long as the water flows, you're okay. So this is a bit short of 2 feet. I'm going to go take a level point from here and raise it up 1/2 inch. The bubble is level. So I'm going to take this point and go all the way around. I'm level with this point I made earlier. I'm going to take the extra off. Check again. called a float. You can use a metal or a wood one. It just fills any gaps you have, any voids. Make it smooth. Take your flat trowel. We're going to do that all the way around, and then we're going to fill the middle in. So I've made my screed. It's called a screed. It goes all the way around, and it's a 1/4 inch higher than this. So I'm going to put the rest of my dry pack in. I'm going to spread it out about 1 inch higher than I need. Pack it down. Okay. Straight edge. I use aluminum. You can use wood. It has to be straight. I'm going to screed it off. Use my float to fill in these voids. Check it again, straight edge. Take my flat trowel. is called dry pack because when you trowel it, it doesn't make waves because it's not wet. It's a way of making a very precise surface with cement. Now I'll finish doing that all the way around, and that's pre-slope.